Here's the Pirates lineup. It's Ronnie Simon leading things off, making his first appearance in the series. Young switch hitter out of the Dominican Republic. Nick Gonzalez swinging it well. He'll bat second. Brian Reynolds, the veteran. Spencer Harwitz in the cleanup role. Andrew McCutchen, he's tortured a lot of teams through the years, particularly so the Rockies. Sawinski, Triola Davis, and Kiner Falefa. And the first pitch from McCade Brown, one he'll never forget, making his major league debut. 25-year-old out of Normal, Illinois, by way of the Hoosiers, an Indiana University product. And there's a good-looking curveball.
Yeah, terrific minor league stats for him, as you see right there. 20 starts, 105 strikeouts in 76 innings. And that 192 opponent average, that's when you can tell guys are putting them away, when you see that opponent average that low.
How tough is it, now in this day and age, there's scouting reports, there's video on everyone, but you don't know a lot about McCade Brown if you're a Pittsburgh Pirate.
And I think the biggest thing, is that going to get out?
It looks like Karros has room and he makes the play in foul ground.
The biggest thing for me is that first time through the order. So I always would try to, if I were playing and it was the first time you saw a guy or a young rookie, you want to make sure you're sharing that information. So if you're a righty that's hitting first or second, or a lefty that's hitting first or second, you want to see as many pitches as you can. You hope that even if you don't get a hit in your first at bat, unless of course there's guys in scoring position, you want to see as many of those pitches, different pitches, out of his hand. And when you see that, you go back in the dugout and you tell the guys that are hitting from the same side as you, hey, this is what it looks like. Is the two-seam sinking? Is it running? Is the four-seam riding? What is it doing so that guys have a decent chance? And then that second time through the order, you're doing your best to make an adjustment based on how he's throwing and how you're seeing that pitch out of his hand.
Falls behind Nick Gonzalez, 2-0. Sully, obviously you remember your first appearance as a big leaguer. He's a pitcher. How do you manage the nerves?
I think you just realize it's 60 feet, 6 inches. Sure, Paul Skeens is on the other side, but you got to go out and attack the strike zone the way you always have. And I think he's looked poised so far. I mean, I know we're just 7 pitches in, but the command's there. The misses are where you want them to be, out of the zone.
I think it might play to his favor, Drew, to be honest with you. I think, when you talk about your first start, or whether you're a pitcher or a position player, sometimes your expectation level, and not to say that McCade Brown's standing out there and going, well, I got to throw up zeros because I'm, facing Paul Skeens, but it might work to his favor to calm him down a little bit, to say, you know what, let me just go out there and see what it looks like.
That's strike 3. That's all over the outside corner. So an impressive first 2 hitters from McCade Brown.
The breaking ball looks really sharp from him. We saw a really good one backdoor to Ronnie Simon, and that first batter. And Nick Gonzalez been swinging the bat very, very well. Chases a breaking ball off the plate to get to 2 strikes, and then takes that good fastball for strike 3.
Let's take a look quickly at our keys to the game, presented by Nissan. What do you have?
Well, for Colorado, obviously, you're talking a lot about McCade Brown and his start. And for Paul Skeens, keep that foot on the gas and see what you can do and try to get a sweep here in Pittsburgh on Sunday.
Well, McCade Brown, 1-2-3 in his major league debut. Nothing across as we go to the second. Presented by MasterCard, and kind enough to wear a microphone for us this afternoon is Mickey Moniak out in right field. Mick, early wake-up call today, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit, but it's good to be playing. Nice day. Oh.
Beautiful out. Do you remember the old man Neil Walker when you first arrived in Philadelphia?
Of course, of course. I was talking to Shafe earlier because you were talking to him, Neil. I was like, is that Neil? He said you guys grew up together.
That's true. Yeah, we played a little bit of summer baseball way back in the day, early 2000s, and had a nice little team around here too.
Oh, I bet. I mean, they had you on it, so.
Hey, Mick, what's it like to have that 21-foot Clemente wall behind you out there? I know you haven't spent a ton of time in right field, especially here. How do you feel out there?
Feel pretty good. We got some work in right, game 1 of the series, so have a pretty decent idea of how the ball is going to bounce off that thing, and but it's awesome, man. I like places like here, Houston, where we're about to go, Fenway, Cleveland, those big walls behind you. I think it's cool.
Mickey, I got to ask you a question since we're here in Pittsburgh, and with Neil here, he's a local kid. You don't know this, but I actually grew up here, and I saw you the other night in a Patrick Queen Steelers jersey.
That's right.
Are you a Steelers fan?
I am. I am. Most of my family's from Western Pennsylvania, so Grandpa grew up in Youngstown. A lot of family up in Erie. There's some here today, so yeah. I was a Charger fan growing up, and they left me. You can't leave San Diego and go to LA and expect me to still be a fan. So went 2 years without a team, and was feeling the void, and figured the Steelers were a good fit.
They're the greatest franchise in history. It's okay.
We welcome you with open arms, Mickey.
I appreciate it.
Well, the fans always welcome the guy at the plate with open arms, and they always will. Andrew McCutcheon, after the leadoff walk to Spencer Harwitz, McCade Brown working his second major league inning. He was impressive in the first, 1, 2, 3, including a punch out of Nick Gonzalez. From your perspective, what are you seeing from the big right-hander?
He's filling up the zone. You just walked Spencer, but that first inning he came out, was making pitches, and getting over here post spring training. Didn't really know much about him, but I'm hearing a lot of good things from the guys around the clubhouse, and he's doing well so far. It's been awesome.
2-0 to McCutcheon. And just above the top of the zone, so it's 3-0.
Mickey, on the other side, facing Paul Skeens, is the plan to be aggressive, especially fastballs early?
Yeah, he's got good stuff. Obviously one of the best, if not the best pitcher in the game right now, and you're
and that turns into a 3-0 around the horn double play. How impressive, Mickey. I know you're answering two questions at once. Has Kyle Caros been with the glove?
Oh, he's been awesome. Obviously, losing Mac at the deadline, been here forever, unbelievable third baseman. But to have, a guy like Kyle come up and fill that spot the way he has is, it's big for us. It's big for the organization.
2 outs, nobody on. Jack Sawinski at the plate.
Mick, in these situations, do you root to make a ridiculous play?
You kind of have to, right? As long as it's an out.
Absolutely. Like full Superman into the wall?
If I have to, I'll run through this wall. I don't know if I'll win, but I'll give it my best.
2-0 on Sawinski. There's some life with that fastball.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing from guys who faced him in live ABs. It's funky, got a weird angle to it. So, in the game today, everyone's throwing 95. You got to have that little bit of, difference in your stuff that kind of makes you unique. And it sounds like he's got it.
(3-1) on Jack Sawinski, center fielder for the Pirates. Popped up right side. And Warmy Bernie Bell makes a play. Mickey, thanks so much,
Mick.
man.
Thanks,
you were
Mick.
awesome.
Hey, thank you guys. That was fun.
And that was a wonderful diving catch you made as well.
Oh, man, thank you guys.
No scores. We go to the third. Stay connected to your G with T-Mobile, the best 5G coverage in the game, home and away on America's largest 5G network. Hey there. McCade Brown in the third. And that pitch just off the plate, ball one to Jared Triolo. Triolo, Henry Davis, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, 7 through 9 for the Pirates. Pirates won the first 2 ball games. They've scored 44 runs against the Rockies in 5 ball games this year. That's an unprecedented amount for Pittsburgh in their history in the first 5 ball games. Sully, I'll do the math for you. It's almost 9 runs a game.
I appreciate that.
Playing for Triolo, we've seen him wear a lot of different hats as far as where he's played in the infield this year and where he's been in the batting order. We saw him yesterday in the leadoff spot and had a home run and a double. But for the most part, and a triple, I'm sorry. But for the most part, anywhere he's been put in the infield, and in the past we have seen him float around the outfield a little bit, he has played elite defense. And when Brian Hayes was traded at the All-Star break, you didn't lose that much when you knew that he was over there, or Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, another guy that won a Gold Glove in Texas at third base.
2-2. Fastball's fouled off. And Triolo, Gold Glove winner, is a utility player. I'm so glad they added that recently as an award, because there are more players that have great versatility but are plus defenders at a number of spots. 3-2.
And you certainly feel in Jared Triolo's case that there is more there offensively. And in a lot of instances, or at least myself, I kind of look at that 500 at-bat benchmark and then that 750 and 1,000 at-bat benchmark as ones that really are a telltale sign about where's the ceiling for a guy, where's the floor, and where do you see him as far as lineup construction.
And he's been better since his return.
Very much so. And he's worked on some stuff. He's talked about he's moved his hands to a little bit different position that's helped him be a little more on time. So things have been trending upward for Jared Triolo. There you go again.
Yep. He gets rewarded a 3-2 base hit to center field. That's the first knock for Pittsburgh against McCade Brown. So a lead single in the third in front of Henry Davis. And speaking of guys, if you look at this swing, speaking of guys that have made some strides offensively, Henry Davis.
Yeah, Henry is a very interesting case. He's took tremendous steps forward defensively coming into this 25 season. We've seen the ability, the power, the slug offensively, but we just haven't necessarily seen it consistently to this point.
This ball's well hit to left. And back, right near the wall, makes the catch. And we'll check the numbers, but Neil, no one knows better than you. You go out there to left field, it takes a big fly.
There is one rule as a right-handed hitter in this ballpark. If you're going to take on that left center to center, left center gap in this ballpark, you better hammer it or it's going to turn into a 380-foot out like this one is. And nobody knows that better than Andrew McCutchen. Obviously, I switch hit, but got the majority of my bats left-handed. I saw with my own eyes Andrew McCutchen come up here and hit about a season worth of balls in that same spot and go, you know what? I'm not doing this. And he figured out a way to change his approach to center, right center field, and his career obviously just took off from there.
Tyner Falefa fouls off the bunt. So that ball that
24
Davis,
to 30 parks.
Yep, just hit 24 out of 30. Remember the double he had the other night? That one was out of 25 out of 30.
In a very similar location out there as well.
But Corey, as you well know, don't go to the dugout and whisper that in Henry Davis's ear right now. He doesn't want to hear it.
No, he definitely doesn't. The attaboys and good swings don't cut it.
Yeah, the old adage, you go in there and you tell a guy, hey, good swing, out. Yeah. You don't want to drop that right.
1-1 on IKF. He's been around a while now, the 30-year-old. And that's in the zone, so it's 1-2. This McCade Brown has been impressive so far. He does not look like he's making his major league debut. Seems very poised. That shot foul.
Yeah, he's not getting behind guys. He's attacking them. Seen him a couple times now with runners on first base. Last inning, he wiped away a leadoff walk with a double play. And now that we're seeing him out of the stretch, doesn't seem to be slow to home plate.
Curveball had a ton of movement on it. It's popped up toward short, and it's grabbed there by Tovar for the second out. And Corey Sullivan, no team perhaps in baseball needs starting pitching like the Colorado Rockies.
No, I mean, given how many innings the bullpen has worked in the last 2.5 weeks, they really need a starter to give them some length, and also the off day that is coming tomorrow for the first in 17 days.
Yeah, and just moving forward overall, their starter ERA is .655 for the season. And even though the Rockies will always have an inflated ERA because of playing at altitude, that doesn't cut it.
Yeah, that's, and to your point and Corey's point, the group that's going to take the biggest brunt of that is going to be that group down in the bullpen. And if you don't have a handful of guys that are able or consistently, successfully going more than 1+ innings, it's going to put a lot of strain on that as the season gets to that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th month.
1-0 on Ronnie Simon. 2 outs. Triola still at first. He led off with a single. And that's in there for a strike, 1-1.
Oh.
And if you think about the playoff years for the Rockies, certainly the period that Corey was part of the World Series team in 2007, most recently 17 and 18. Those teams, you know, a sub 4.4 team ERA, which for a lot of clubs isn't great, but if you're the Rockies, that's what you're looking for. Yeah. And in those years, they've always been well above 500.
Yeah, and as players, when you go into Colorado and you hear numbers like that, it's pretty jarring. And when you have a, you know, let's say a competent offense, even with those numbers, and you're playing 81 games there, it's going to be really difficult to come in there and win series as a road team.
Ooh, that's a sweeper that I'm sure Brown would like back in terms of what it was called. That was at the bottom of the zone. So instead of 1-2, it's 2-1.
Keep an eye right here on Jared Triola. This is a spot right here. He's an opportunistic base stealer. He's 8 of 9 in the stolen base. There he goes.
Yeah, you were all over it. He goes, and the throw is gloved by the second baseman, Freeman, backing up.
Well, and that's the thing with the Pirates offense. We talked about how well they've swung the bat and slugged in this series so far. But make no mistake, Don Kelly really does a nice job of telling these guys, hey, most of you guys up and down the lineup are going to have the green light. If you get a good jump, I'm okay with you getting thrown out, within reason, of course. They've always tried to push the envelope, and it's just a matter now of doing a nice job putting good at-bats together with runners in scoring position.
3-1. And that's in there. Boy, there's a lot of shape on that slurve sweeper. I know Corey doesn't love that that name for it, but there's a lot of movement on that pitch. 3-2, goes back to it, and he gets a ground ball, diving stop, Freeman, and safe at first. Ronnie Simon got up the line. If that call, well, it's going to hold because the Rockies lost their challenge.
That's right. Oh, my gosh. And Tyler Freeman does a terrific job of getting to this ball with runner on second base and 2 outs. The one thing you want to do, particularly as middle infielders, you're telling each other, hey, at minimum, knock the ball down, keep it in front of you, don't let this run score from second. So you can kind of live with the result right here, even though you'd love to see that third out if you're the Rockies. Nonetheless, still got to get 1 out.
I think Darryl Scott, the pitching coach for the Rockies, is going to go out. There's nothing mechanically going on. It's just probably the old 20-second timeout in hoops, right?
Yeah, take a little breather right here. You're throwing the ball really well. See if you can get ahead. You got Nick Gonzalez, who's an aggressive hitter and has done a nice job with runners in scoring position. Keep the ball down, execute, and take your chance right here. And if Ronnie Simon wants to take second base right here, you know, so be it.
It's pretty impressive for Ronnie Simon getting down the line after slipping, coming out of the box and still beating that out.
Yeah, I'd like to see a number on that one, Sully. You got a first row look at that one. He was moving. Looked like an old Corey Sullivan heading down to first base right there.
Corey Sullivan never had that kind of speed. That's also the first time and last time I'll probably speak in the third person. See that right there, that first step, he kind of slips on the back foot. That's motoring getting down first.
So the meeting's adjourned. Nick Gonzalez will come up first and third for the Pirates. Their best scoring opportunity. Bottom of the third inning scoreless, and this is an easy play at first for Bernabel. Pitching coaches love that. They have a meeting, and the next pitch, the third out, takes place. McCade Brown matching 0 so far with Paul Skeens.
Doctor.
I'm here with Pirates manager Don Kelly. Paul Skeens is doing Paul Skeens like thing.
He really is. Fastball is working well. He's got the command, mixing up the off-speed, sweeper, and changeup, and commanding his zone real well.
First couple games, your offense was swinging it. Today, they're having a little bit of trouble against the kid making his debut.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job staying in the zone and changing speeds on us. Just got to find a way. McCutcheon hit that ball pretty good, but it turned into 2.
And last time I checked, you won a state championship in high school, right? I think I won a state championship. Warren Schaefer, the manager of the Rockies, did. What about your brother-in-law?
Yeah, I don't think Neil's got one. He ended up having the best career of all of us, but he doesn't have the gold from the Pennsylvania state title.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, take care.
See, shots fired, Neil.
Why am I taking shrapnel, Drew?
Well,
I'm just trying to do my job up here.
I'm from New York, so I'm completely out of this thing.
Come on now. All's fair in love.
You're
in
guilty
York.
by association, Drew. I can tell you, You're from the neighboring state.
You remain a legend in these parts. You've stayed in these parts. So I'm still going to give you overall the big leg up on
Thank
your
you.
brother-in-law, on that other guy down there that we're working with today, right?
Well, listen, I went to Pinehurst High School. Sully went to North Allegheny. Still a huge rivalry, but I won in high school a Western Pennsylvania championship against his alma mater, so I always get that in my back pocket.
That just missed. So Brian Reynolds will lead off walk in the fourth. That'll bring up Spencer Horwitz. Cleanup man in the batting order for Donnie Kelly today.
Well, and this will be the first test. We saw McCade Brown get out of a little bit of a jam, as Sully mentioned, that last inning with runners on the corners and 2 outs. The second time through the order, through the meat of the order, this is when McCade Brown's going to have to really do a nice job. He's got a potential situation to get a double play right here, but keep attacking if you're McCade Brown. Make this Pirates offense put you in a corner, but make no mistake, these guys are going to make adjustments with the veteran Andrew McCutchen on deck, and Spencer Horwitz has been swinging the bat pretty well.
Yeah, Horwitz on Friday, a home run and a double for the Pirates. As they won 9-0 on Friday night. They won 5-1 behind an 11-hit attack last night. This ball in the air to left. One out as Beck makes the catch. You feel like when you look back on your playing career and that when you watch Brian Reynolds, you feel like a brotherhood, if you will, both switch hitters. There's some similarities to your game.
Yeah, we have a lot of conversations kind of about approach, and obviously he is a little bit better of a right-handed hitter than I was over the course of his career. I did a lot of my damage from the left side, but it's kind of the last of a dying breed. You don't see a ton of switch hitters anymore, and if you do, they tend to be these guys that can really run and kind of push the ball around the yard. So he's done a terrific job. He's so durable. He's the one guy that what you're going to get from him. He's going to be in the lineup every day. He does not want to come out, and he's going to work his tail off when he's in there and play good defense.
Well, there's another guy that you played with, and he may never retire, evidently. Andrew McCutchen with a base hit to left.
Just when you think Kutch is slowing down a little bit, he has a series like this one where he just goes off. Went after a 3-0 fastball and hit into a double play his first at bat, shoots one through the 6th hole here.
You made, I thought, a wonderful point. You and I were chatting about Kutch yesterday, and you said, as you get older, it's natural. Your ability to catch up with the fastball is going to slow down just a hair, and that's all it takes at this level. With McCutchen, it doesn't seem like Father Time has robbed him of that.
And he's always had elite bat speed. That was the one thing from the first time I played with him and saw him when he was drafted in 2005. We ended up playing together in 2007 in AA Altoona. It was very prevalent that nobody was throwing a fastball by this guy. And now that he's on the backside of 35, that may have ticked down a little bit, but guess what, Drew? That bat speed is just as good as almost any guy out there, because it was elite at one point, and it's just taken a tick back at his age now.
Yeah, natural question. I mean, he's 38. He's having a real solid year. Is he back for another?
He was just on interviewed saying he really wants to play in 2026. So we'll see how that all plays out. But boy, he's been very good, very consistent, and able to stay on the field, even though a lot of his work has come in the DH role this season.
The thing that I've been most impressed with about Andrew is that he's not trying to create more or do more. He's just still, resolute in who he is, comfortable.
2-1 on Jack Sawinski, 2 on, 1 out. And that's punch foul. Many nights, as you well know, Neil, the middle of the lineup for Donnie Kelly is populated by 2 guys that go to Furs before the ball game. And that's Tommy Pham, who's having a terrific second half, and the aforementioned McCutchen.
Yeah, these guys are veteran, smart players. They know how to have good at-bats day in and day out, and they're both getting rewarded. Particularly, you mentioned Tommy. You know, if you would have told me the first two, as you see Tommy on the left right there, if you would have seen the April and May that Tommy had and where he is now, it's incredibly impressive. He's been very resilient this season.
McCade Brown now with a 3-2 count, and the sweeper gets him. Showed some poise there, Sully, because that 2-2 pitch obviously easily could have gone in his direction for the punch out. Undaunted, he gets it on the sweeper.
Yeah, he's unwavered by a call that could have gone his way. I just think he is incredibly poised right now for the moment. I think whatever prepared him for it, he is acting, he's abiding by rule 1, which is act like you belong.
Triolo hits this ball well to left, way back chasing. He's going to run out of room. 3-run home run, Jared Triolo.
Holy smokes, Jared Triolo, have yourself a series. Throw the tree up there around in third base. 3-run home run, second home run in as many days. Big swing of the bat for the big tree.
Yeah, may seem like an unlikely source. Triolo's 5th of the year. What a time for it.
And boy, what a time to get it to you. Just as Sully was mentioning how poised McCade Brown looks, probably the worst pitch he's thrown in this entire game. A flat slider that just sat in the middle of the plate, and Jared Triolo makes him pay.
And that pitch called ball 1 on Henry Davis. Davis flirted with a home run his first time up. Beck caught a long fly ball at the wall. Would have been a home run in 24 out of 30 ballparks. 2-0 now on Davis. So Triolo got the crowd standing here early on a Sunday afternoon with a 3-run home run in the 4th against McCade Brown. Or maybe Brown's a little rattled. It's 3-0. Just the 94th home run all year for Pittsburgh. See the season splits. They've been such a better team at home. It's fouled off. The 94 home runs last in baseball. But for some reason, Neil Walker, at PNC Park, we understand the pitching is outstanding. But the Pirates have found ways to win. Again, 8 games above 500. And the only team with a poor road record in baseball is the team the Pirates are playing, the Rockies.
Yeah, you gotta find ways to go on the road. You know that it's going to be tough most places that you go, and you're in most instances figuring you're going to take care of business at home, but the differences just can't be that stark when you look at teams that don't necessarily have winning records. You got to take care of business at home. And you got to find ways to stay near that 500 mark if you can. On the road, that is.
That's the 3rd walk issued by McCade Brown. The veteran pitching coach, Darryl Scott, will come out again. Davis at first, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa when we resume.
And I do believe there was a call made down to the Rocks bullpen. I could see Warren Schaefer get on the call.
Today is the final game of 17 in a row for the Rockies, and though their bullpen, Corey Sullivan, has been outstanding, basically a 3.5 ERA over the last 3 weeks, they have been utilized frequently.
Yeah, at some point the other shoe's going to drop, but for now, for whatever reason in August, the bullpen and the resiliency of the offense has been what's carried them to that record.
Carrying the Pirates right now is Jared Triolo's 3-run home run moments ago. First time in his career he's homered back-to-back ball games. Runner goes immediately, and an easy steal of second by Henry Davis. And Corey, you stole some bases. Walk on occasion you would go, and sometimes the best time to go is right after a meeting. The pitcher's so focused on the hitter at the plate.
Yeah, I always felt like that was a really good time. The only other time was right after you hit a double, because the pitcher's focused on not letting the hitter knock in a run, and you could steal third base pretty easily.
I'll tell you my favorite time to run, Drew, and I didn't run nearly close to as much as Corey did, but I always like when I got hit. You know, I got hit like in the thigh or the leg or something, and you just take a slow stroll down there to first base, and you're leaning back. Oh, man, I'm struggling, and then boom.
Take off.
He'd have been a great soccer player.
Take you off with the sled. Moments later, you're back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's inside the curveball. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Kiner Falefa. Henry Davis, by the way, that swipe of second was his first bag of the year. And the 100th steal on the season for Pittsburgh. Here's the 2-2. And that's lined toward left center. It's going to get down. It's going to bring in another run. It'll be a double from Isaiah Kiner Falefa. And it's 4-0 Pittsburgh as Henry Davis jogs toward the dugout.
Yeah, the second time through the lineup has been tough on McCade Brown. That's 4 hits right there, second time through the lineup, mixed with 2 walks. And it looks like it might be it for his day.
And that will be all for McCade Brown. Triola, a 3-run home run. Isaiah Kiner Falefa, run-scoring double. 4-0 Pittsburgh.